So let me ask you a question today. Do you love yourself? Here's the perspective of a woman who's learning the very thing. What do you think?
I'm learning the very thing.
You're learning the very thing.
I'm trying.
So tell me, what do you think is one of the hardest things about learning to love yourself?
Forgiving yourself for
Forgiving
your
yourself?
mistakes.
All right.
Yeah. I think why we were talking about people being miserable,
Right.
and why are some people so angry and mean to others, and just, I mean, they're not fun to be around. Everything's negative. Everything's somebody else's fault. Life just in general sucks for them. To even wake up is like, a burden. But I think the biggest thing, the one thing that I believe is they don't love themselves. And the reason I think that they don't love themselves is they hold on to anything that was they perceived as done to them. Like they hold on to victimhood. They hold on to pain from the past, traumas, things they've done to other people, things that have done to them, but they hold on to it and they never let things go. They don't forgive themselves for the things they've done. They don't forgive others for what they've done. And what that does is just, it causes so much pain and turmoil in your life. And through that, you're just not allowing love for yourself. You don't allow that in. Even from other people, it's really hard for you to let people love you. You're always thinking, why do they love me? They must have an agenda. They must want something from me, or they're just lying to me for some reason. You can never accept love. So I just can't even imagine. I mean, I've done that to myself in ways, not forgiving myself for things, but to be so rooted in that, and to let that go on for so long, I think it's kind of like a cancer or a sore or a wound that never is healed. It just gets worse and oozes and is yucky and gross. And the biggest thing that I've learned through this whole process, this awakening process, the ascending, is to learn to love myself. And it makes you so much happier when you love yourself. You accept things as they come. So my husband screams and yells at me for something, right? And at first I'm like, what a jerk, right? And then I go, well, he's having a bad day, so I'm just gonna let it go, because I have bad days too. I forgive him. I still love him. Okay, let it go. When you just release that, and the quicker and the faster you release that and just let it go, the happier of a person you're going to be. And the one thing that I heard, I don't know what I was listening to in one of the podcasts or something I was listening to one day, a lady was talking about forgiving herself and loving herself. And she said that the one thing that helped her was, she said her self-talk was so negative. Like, she would drop something or break something, and she'd go, "You're so stupid. All you do is break stuff." And she said she stopped in that, that self-talk in your head. And she was like, wait a minute. I don't think I'm loving myself right now when I'm saying stuff like that. Would I say that to my daughter if she dropped something? No, I would never say that. I would say, it's okay. It's just an accident. Your hands were wet. It was slippery. It's just a glass. We can replace it. Are you okay? That's the important thing, So in that self-talk to yourself is so important. And think of it as talking to somebody you love the most in the world, like your child or your mother or your spouse. Or would you say that to them? Would you call them stupid? Would you, be angry in your head to yourself if it was your loved one that you were speaking to? No, I wouldn't say that to one of my children or my grandchildren or my spouse. I wouldn't call them stupid, or why do you always do this, or why are you so dumb, or why can't you figure this out? Instead, as soon as you do that, tell yourself, wait, that's not loving myself. It was just an accident. Or I just kind of yelled at my husband for something that really wasn't that big a deal. Just go, I'm not bad, I'm not evil, I'm not this or that, whatever. I just had a bad day. I made a mistake. It's okay. Go to your husband, ask for forgiveness, and then forgive yourself. And just say, it's okay. Let it go. You know, the more we do that, the more we heal stuff. And, you know, they talk about that shadow work and stuff, and that's just part of that. That shadow work is just always continual. You just got to keep going within. When you feel you can, and you start to notice it a lot more than you did. Like, I'm way more aware of when I'm not loving myself now than I used to be. Now I go, wait, I shouldn't say that to myself. That's not loving. And I'll say the opposite in my head. You're so stupid. Why'd you drop that? I go, you know, it was just an accident. Things happen. It's okay. It's all right. Everything's going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. It's all right. It was just an accident. And I'm like, yeah, it's just an accident. That's what I would say to my daughter. So it's just an accident. You know?
Okay, Joanne, so tell me about some of the fruit in your life that's happened because you started loving yourself.
Well, what's funny is people think loving, a lot of people, I used to get this confused too. Loving yourself means going on a shopping spree or getting your hair done, which, you know, that is good. That's a part of it. But I think the biggest part about loving yourself is the self-talk, the mirror work. When you look in the mirror and you say, I love you. You're awesome. You're so smart. You're so creative. Look at the things you made today. Like, wow, you know, that amazing breakfast you made today, that was art right there. That was just great. And you really just encourage yourself over what some people would just say, well, you just made breakfast. No, I made an awesome breakfast. That was really good. You know, just encourage yourself. That's loving yourself. If you think about loving your child or loving your spouse, like, what do you say to them when you want to encourage them? Say that to yourself in the mirror. Say that. Wow, you know what? You did such a good job when you painted those kitchen cabinets for that customer. Wow, that transformed that whole kitchen. It looks great. You did a great job. You know, really encourage yourself because you are awesome. You are great, you know? I guess the biggest thing for me would be a sense of peace and my relationships with my children, with my spouse, with my friends, my grandkids is greatly improved. I feel like when you love yourself, you can give that love so much easier. It's so much more natural. I've noticed that my relationship with my kids has shifted so much more. I mean, they're older, but I feel like more like their friend and somebody to encourage them. And I feel like my kids are so much closer to me now. Like, I generally, they've even told me, they're like, Mom, you're so different. Like, I can tell how much you love me. And God, does that feel good when your kids tell you that? And my grandkids, like, they're so addicted. My kids are like, they're so addicted to you. All they do is talk about you. And I'm like, yeah, because I love them. I love them so much. And they're just the joy of my life. I mean, being a grandma is the best. It really is. And I just think loving myself has made my life so much fuller, so much happier, and peaceful. It's awesome.
When you learn to love yourself, there's some more fruits of that I believe happens to you. Number one, you accept yourself. Number two is major, is forgive yourself. You see, without loving yourself, it's just, they're synonymous. They go together. It's forgiving yourself, accepting yourself. And let's see Joanne's point of view on that one. Go.
I learned to forgive myself by doing the shadow work. One of the biggest things that helped me was, it said to think of a time in your life when you were, you know, really traumatized, or something that you think about all the time that you wish you could change. And it said, picture yourself in that moment and then write a letter to yourself at that moment. What would you say now to yourself? That one blew me away. I had an affair many years ago, and I hurt my husband at the time. I hurt myself, I hurt my kids, my family, my extended family. my in-laws, who I loved like my own family. I really did. I destroyed it all, burnt it to the ground, and I really hated myself for that. I mean, it took a while to forgive myself for all that. It was so much pain in that. And doing that letter, I talked to myself from this perspective and said, you know, you're going to go through some hard times, but life's going to get better. You're going to learn to forgive yourself. You're going to learn to love yourself. And that really, really started the healing process. That letter, when I read that letter out loud, I pictured myself in that situation, and it sounds really weird, but there was so much healing in that. So much, just doing that letter was so loving and kind, you know, and I just forgave myself in that. So forgiving myself, and then learning to accept myself for who I am. I accept that I did that. I accept that I forgive myself for that. I hope the people that I hurt forgive me, but I can't do anything about making somebody forgive me. All I can do is send out love and, you know, hope that they do. But accepting myself for my flaws, you know.
So basically, that's some fruit of loving yourself. So, in this perspective of Joanne, and as of a woman, it's totally different than mine. So I thought you'd like to see that. I just want to share that with you. So, you guys have an awesome day, and we love you. Have a great day.